All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is February 15th, 2023, a Wednesday. This will be the third or fourth video I've done on the derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, just outside of Pittsburgh, not too far from Cleveland, even closer to Akron. Since covering it, though, I've added some additional information, but I have just been getting bombarded with requests in the last 48 hours to cover this. And again, a lot of people really need to try and just click on the tab where I've already created the videos and see what's out there. I know a lot of you guys will only respond to a video if it pops up in your notification feed. But it goes to show that you probably didn't get, or it seems like a lot of people didn't get a notification for when I covered this in the past, since so many people are asking me to cover it. But I have looked into it even further and found more information. And I even just started to watch the first few minutes of the film. I have not seen the film, but as you can see, this screenshot's from days ago. CNN's front page said, "Ohio town is living the plot of a film it helped make." And that film is White Noise, which is on Netflix. And people from the town helped film a movie, which was originally a book that came out in 1985 about a chemical spill that turns into an airborne hazard. And anyhow, let's go through and see how perfectly this accident, as they're... excuse me. Must be allergy season coming on, but let's go through and see how perfect this accident is in light of the release of the Netflix film White Noise and the book in 1985. So, actually, you know what? If you have not seen the film, again, like I said, I only watched the first few minutes. The film begins with Don Cheadle, the actor, talking about the art of staging a craft scene. And it seems like it's some kind of film study class. Again, I only watched the opening minutes, so I didn't catch the context of why he was talking about it, but it seemed like it was some kind of film study class. But it begins by talking about the art of staging a crash scene. And again, we're going to see how this is perfectly synced with the release of the film. In the CNN article, they tell it from the perspective of somebody... Here, I'll just read the beginning. When Bette Ratner's family signed up in 2021 to be extras in the movie White Noise, they thought it would be a fun distraction from their day-to-day life in blue-collar East Palestine, Ohio. Ratner, 37, is in a traffic jam scene, sitting in a line of cars trying to evacuate after a freight train collided with a tanker truck, triggering an explosion that fills the air with dangerous toxins. So just notice they had to mention that Ratner was 37. I'm sure there's plenty of people they could have talked to, but it is significant that they mentioned he was 37, as we'll get to. So White Noise, the film, released initially August 31st, 2022 in Venice at the film festival. And by the way, right at the beginning of the movie, they also referenced the year 1968. Whole nother topic. If you're new here, you won't get that, but if you're not, you'll understand why they referenced 1968, the year of years. But anyway, from the release of the film to the day of the train derailment that's led to the chemical major disturbance in the area was a span of 157 days. And again, we've talked about this number with accidents in the past. Hello, Kobe Bryant, dead on his 157th day of his age, where Kobe Bryant equals 157 like accident. And with regards to 157, it is the 37th prime number, and they released the chemicals from the train on February 6th, the 37th day of the year, which has led to the great air hazard. But again, February 6th, the date can also be written 2-6. If you're new here, Gematria, this practice of coding numbers into words. It comes from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. And the producer of White Noise is Jewish. Go figure. What else is new in Hollywood? But anyhow, Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, Gematria. In Gematria, there's a few different ways to decode words. Alphabetic order forwards, alphabetic order in reverse, alphabetic order forwards with numerology, alphabetic order in reverse with numerology. Notice how the word train when you run it forwards with numerology is 26, like the date February 6th, the day they released the chemicals. And when you run it in reverse, with numerology, it's 37, like how February 6th was the 37th day of the year. And the word chemicals is also 37. So again, this is the starting piece. From the release of the film to the accident that's led to the chemical release on the 37th day of the year. That's part one. The book that the film is based on, White Noise, came out in 85. January 21st, 85. Meaning the film had just turned 38 years old when this happened. If you're new here, that's a number connected to death. And they're saying a lot of animals have died. And I'm imagining in time there'll be consequences for people. But words like death, murder, killing, RIP, they all equal 38. So does the word Jew, so does the word Gematria, so does the word English, so does the word Kabbalah, so does the word energy. So many rituals performed around the number 38, like what they just did with LeBron, and what they just did with the Super Bowl, and a million other things. Also, train derailment has Gematria of 163, which is the 38th prime number. So, the film just turned 38 years old. It came out in 85. The Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, has Gematria of 85 and 266. East Palestine, Ohio, also equals 266. We're in the time of the first Jesuit pope, Pope Francis, who's the 266th pope in the history of the church. At the end of the day, it's the Jesuits who run all these rituals. If you don't know who the Jesuits are, look into history. Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. The Jesuits are the Catholic-Jewish alliance that came out of the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century that runs the nation and runs Hollywood and runs all the rituals just like this. And understand, if you're saying, well, why would they do this? Again, these people have been actively saying what they need to do in the world. They need to depopulate, they need Agenda 2030, they need to push people out of rural communities, they want people living in, surveillance states, mass ghettos. It's the future they're driving us towards. But anyway, the author who wrote that book, his birthday is November 20th, just like Joe Biden, November 20th. And from his birthday to the train derailment was 76 days. And notice in Gematria, East Palestine, Ohio equals 76. And you could also say it was 75 days after his birthday. That's also true of the release of the film. If you don't count the span of days and just do the days after. So again, it's his 76th day of his age, or it's 75 days after his birthday. We talked about it being the 157th day from the release of the film. You could also say the train derailed 156 days after. So with regards to 75 and 156, the chemical that's been intentionally spilled is vinyl chloride, which has the gematria of 156 and 75. And again, if you're new here, just take the alphabetic order. V would be the 22nd letter, I the 9th, N the 14th, Y the 25th, L the 12th, C the 3rd. Add up the letters 156. Take the order with numerology. So instead of V being 22, you take the numerology of 22. 2 plus 2 is 4. Just make each letter a single-digit number. Vinyl chloride adds up to 75. And then the Jewish director, Noam Baumbach, from his September 3rd birthday to the wreck was 153 days later. Jesuit order is 153. The Illuminati is 153. Adam Weishaupt was a Jewish Jesuit who founded the Illuminati. And again, just turn on the beginning of White Noise. The art of staging an accident scene. The opening part of the film. And for another 76 with the spill, it's what's in the news right now. Arizona on the state's birthday. Arizona's the Valentine's Day state, right after the Super Bowl. They had a hazardous chemical spill that shut down their interstate for a period of time. And Tucson, Arizona also equals 76. So from one 76 location to the next, we know that's a special number to this nation, founded in 1776. But yeah, rather than make this video longer, what I want to do is actually take the time to watch the film and see what else they put in there. I'm sure it's full of other predictive programming. But this is par for the course. I mean, this is the same kind of stuff people who are awake have been trying to explain for decades. They're putting in films, in movies, in TV shows, in video games, what they have planned for future news stories. And again, the people who rule over us, they have a plan. You know, that they do this for a reason. They make money off it, for one. And for two, again, you know, there will be some new laws and regulations that come out of this that put money in certain people's pockets. And again, just even contriving the story. That's ratings for their news networks. That there's all sorts of reasons. Look into Agenda 2030. Again, they want to push people out of rural towns. Don't be surprised if between now and 2030, a lot more things like this happen in a lot more small towns in America that they don't want people in. I was just thinking about how, you know, this little town that I've moved to, population around 5,000 people. It's similar to East Palestine. It's got a rail line that goes right through town that moves hazardous chemicals. You know, maybe someday they don't want people to live in this town. They want them to live in the bigger city, the Tri-Cities closer by, or Seattle. Maybe similar thing happens here. You know. That's the problem with people just not recognizing the signs and catching on to the redundant patterns. Like, seriously, the problem with this country is they could have 50 more of these stories happen in the next 50 days, every single day, and most of America would still be like, I just think it's a coincidence. You know, sometimes things happen in patterns. I mean, turn on the news. How many people are going on the news right now and saying things like this? I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it does seem funny. It doesn't matter if you're watching Fox News, CNN, Democracy Now!, that everyone's talking in the same way. It does seem kind of funny, though. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but yeah, just the plot of the show White Noise that used that town to film it now has this happen. It's like, people, I mean, it's just like everyone just, that's the culture, right? Everyone just has to say that. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. It's like, stop saying theorist. Stop saying theorist. Look up what the word conspiracy means. A plot by two or more people to orchestrate something against another person or group of people. You don't think that's going on every day at the highest levels in all sorts of ways? God, it's just like people are so brain dead, so programmed. Culture has ruined people's minds. So, yeah, anyhow, I mean, for the people who think this stuff's a coincidence, let me know why you think it's a coincidence. Again, Kobe Bryant, dead at 41 on the 157th day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass, dead on the Pope's 41st day of his age. I might have misspoke. Kobe died at age 41 on the 157th day of his age, but he died on the Pope's 41st day of his age. Again, the first Jesuit Pope. Jesuits. Again, just like I was just saying, 153 days after the director of the film White Noise, this happens. Jesuit Order 153. White Noise 153. You know. Or did I say White Noise? Excuse me. Jesuit Order 153. The Illuminati 153, again, founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. And, you know, again, just the numbers people. Where are all these numbers coming from? They're coming from the Bible. What's the fourth book of the Bible called? Numbers. And what's the miraculous catch? 153 fish. The same people that had controlled the minds at this day and age control people's minds. You know, they control them through the TV and the screens. They're the same people that before that were controlling people's minds through the books they printed. And again, look at all the people. Again, this Christian guy who has a small audience, but just every broadcast he does these days, he just has to get on by making fun of Gematria and how we just need to connect with Jesus. He's like, all Zach needs to do is have a family and connect with Jesus. That Gematria is gay. That's literally what he says. Like, is that what Jesus would say? Gematria is gay? I mean, it does reveal gay rituals. Gay 33, Grammys 33. Who can remember when the Grammys married 33 gay couples? I think that was 2014, if I'm not mistaken. But It's like, I'm pretty sure Jesus, if he were a real person and not from a book of fiction, I'm pretty sure, since he said, let the truth set us free, I'm pretty sure he'd be about this research if he was walking the earth. But yeah, anyway, I am going to check out the film White Noise. I'm going to make a point to watch it right now and see what else I can pick up on. We do have TFR tonight. TFR every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern. And yeah, maybe there'll be more to talk about. But there always is. There always is. So anyhow, that's it for now, Truth Seeker. And until next time.